guys, what's going on? I am the one, the only, the Wookie, joined here, back from his on tour assignment, is one Mr. Big Z.
Hey.
Oh, so excited, Big Z.
I'm a little tired today, but yeah, I'm ready to talk some cards.
A little tired. All the heat getting to you down there.
I mean, it is freaking hot, but
Yeah.
I have no excuses. I'm not doing anything, man.
Yeah.
I've been on summer vacation since March, but yeah, it's actually summer vacation for my kid. Not that he's been doing much since March either, but
Yep. And then, of course, we have JR.
Hello, KEyforge community.
And we had to wake him up for this one. We had to shake him a little bit and say, Dan, wake up, Mr. Dan. He's so excited to talk Saurians, guys. You have no idea. He's so pumped. That's how pumped he is. Right there. That's how pumped he is. But
yeah, like they took out a lot of good cards, huh?
yeah, I want to thank everybody who went. We had a little bit more of a diverse poll this week. Saurians winning with 50% of the vote. Shadows and Sanctum both taking a little bit of chunk out of that, both taking 25% of the vote. But Saurians are the ones who've won this week. So shall we start?
Nobody wants us to talk about Star Alliance?
I don't know. I think Star Alliance looks halfway decent. I don't know, but I guess everybody wants to talk about dinosaurs.
Better than this trash.
So OP in last set, and we're gonna find out how OP they are gonna be in this set. Are you guys ready to kind of get into it?
Let's kick it.
Everybody warmed up. All right. So first card up, we've already seen before, Axiom of Grist. We know it as a good card, reprinted and going to be. I'm sorry, not reprinted. But Axiom of Grist printed in Worlds Collide, going to be reprinted in Mass Mutation, so no need there. Dan's favorite card, I saw it in the chat as I popped in this afternoon. Beware the Idols. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It is an action card. Play, deal 23 damage to a creature in the center of its controller's battle lines. Dan, what makes you love this card so much?
I hate this card on every level.
I mean, you don't appreciate the jest part? I mean, I think that's fun, but yeah, it's a horrible card.
I'm going to go with Z. That is the only saving grace, is the jest on the Ides of March.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a Pip of Ember every time you play it.
Yeah, if you play it.
Why?
So, go ahead, Dan, because this was you that you were kind of talking about. This really could backfire big time.
So this only targets center. So that means your opponent has to have odd creatures, right, for this to be able to affect them. Okay, so if you know you're playing against multiple Ides of March deck, you just keep even creatures on the battle line, right? But if you, as the player of Ides, have odd and they have even, you're going to have to kill your own center guy to play this card, or go through a bunch of shenanigans to set up a situation where you don't have to kill your own guy, which it's not that hard to do because you can fight theirs, you can sacrifice yours, you can play another guy. There are lots of options, but there will be those days where your only choice to play this card for its amber is to kill your own guy, and that's crap.
Which might be your leader.
Yeah,
because that's where they should be.
Or your big double creature. Hopefully it's not that guy.
I mean, 23 damage is a dumb number. It doesn't even kill everything. I have had to deal with stronger than 23 creatures coming out of Worlds Collide, right? 23 is a dumb number. Why didn't it just say destroy the creature? Or this could have said something useful like destroy the center of the battle line and then repeat that effect. So that way it could guarantee it killed a warded creature, but really not be that good. But this is just bad. It just does nothing for me.
Well, for all of you who didn't know, the reason it's 23 is that Brad was a big Michael Jordan fan. That's a lie that I just made up right now. But I don't know. I have no idea.
Go ahead, Z. The two educators here can actually talk about this.
I don't think we're here for that, but yeah, get a history book, Wookie. It's fine, or read a play. I don't know. Pick something. Yeah.
Don't get him started. He's going to talk about Bonesaw.
Well, we can't talk about Bonesaw. No,
I knew that reference though.
I know Bonesaw. No, I do know what it's about. I wanted to make something. I wanted to make up something silly. Damn.
Well, the funny thing is that it not killing everything. Like you mentioned that real quick, Dan. Before we get on to the next one, is that from what I'm seeing, it does kill everything in this set. Because the 2 reasons why it doesn't kill the 3 reasons why it doesn't kill everything inside Worlds Collide are gone, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not seeing Tribune. Is Sinopius still around? Nope. Sinopius is gone. And Primus is gone. So the 3 things that this would not kill aren't here. So this does kill everything in seals, right? Like that does need to be said.
There is Ward.
Yeah.
It kills what I choose to let you kill to some extent.
I think this comes down to those. Like, I would not be incredibly angry if I saw this in my sealed pool, assuming like that was still a decent deck out of the 3.
This replaced Flanic Strike in the same spot. Common creature control card.
Yeah,
which one do you want?
Right? I get that. I'm just saying
this is so bad.
I don't want it in an Archon deck. But I'm not super pissed if this is in my sealed vault event. Because this is going to kill anything.
Well, there will be no vault event, but we can move into...
One day!
One day, I think we're going to have another setup before we have another vault event.
Oh, shit.
I think that they really missed on the flavor text. That would have been a perfect opportunity to see the flavor text.
Right.
I see what they were trying to go for, but yes, if we compare this to Failing Strike, this is definitely 3, 4, 5 steps back behind it. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of room there for flavor text, but
this isn't even as good as Gleeful Mayhem. Like, that's a good card. Yeah. So, and that obviously can hurt you often, but like,
even if this card just said do 23 damage to any creature, it still would not be that overpowered.
No,
it's just like the fact that they then limited it to only center.
Yeah, because it's got to kill the leader. Come on, guy. Like,
Dan, you're not tasting the
Why
flavor.
didn't they have it that it did something or it did 23 damage if you targeted a leader then? I mean, like, this card is just bad.
Wait. Like, that would be worse, Dan.
No, I'm saying if it did 5 damage or 23 if you pick the leader.
All right. I could see that. I would like that.
But no leader needs more than 7. So,
true.
Stabbing him a few extra times isn't getting us anywhere today.
I mean, makes me feel better. Never mind. All right, moving on. Chant of Hubris is going to find itself getting a reprint. Pretty decent card. We'll move into Citizen Shrix. It is a 3-power creature mutant. Play Reap, Exalt Citizen Shrix to steal 1 Ember.
It is important to note that that's not May. You have to do it.
Did I say May?
No, you didn't. I just wanted to make sure that we highlight
did I say
that.
May? Oh, okay.
No, because there's a lot of those that are May or whatever.
Yeah.
But because it's exalting, this isn't a forced exalt trigger on play and reap. So even if they have none, you're still exalting and you're not getting anything.
Or they have an Odak, or who's the other one? Gigantosaurus, that's his name, right?
Yeah, or Discombobulator, or Vault Keeper, or one of a million.
Bunch of things that will stop you. Like, I like the card, but there are many situations now where you might discard this. So I don't know.
And that Exalted Amber is not very well protected.
Yeah, it's only a 3. It's not like the original 4/1 creature that had some protection. Yeah, I think it's a good card. I wouldn't hate to see it, but I just, like Dan mentioned, like 4 or 5 of them. There's a bunch of scenarios where you don't want to play this.
And we know 3 damage is a common damage number in this set. So this guy, I mean, like, he's a stall, and he's not even like a permanent steal because you're sticking an amber on him. I mean, there's a few cards that move amber around that make it not so bad, but it's a pretty good card, but he's just a little too squishy.
Yep.
As most stealing cards are, but I was surprised they went with Shrix. Shrix was a senator in the last set,
Mhm.
wasn't she? Because I kind of thought
So
this...
she mutated and then she got kicked out of the Senate.
Well,
you can't have mutants sitting on the Senate board.
Or Shrik's a class.
I don't know. I think it's the name, like because Bad Penny mutated to Rad Penny. I think that is this person mutating it.
Yeah,
from what I think.
Kind of. I thought this was going to be a play on Citizen Kane.
Well, no, like, even as the text, losing the election was just the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Shrix lost the next election and mutated into Citizen Shrix, and now looks a lot more. She looks bigger in the picture now, but obviously weaker for some reason.
And,
I don't know.
And changed,
no bodyguards.
And changed color.
Yeah.
She was like that weird bluish, like teal color, and I was definitely purple. So
I do like the art on both of her cards, though. Like, I think the art's done well. I think that, once again, I would actually like to see this card in sealed. I don't think this makes an Archon deck. I know that's like 2 in a row. Other than Axiom and Chant. Chant, I actually don't ever want. I don't like that card.
Get used to it, because you're not going to find a single card you want.
So far, the best card's Axiom. So let's see if we
and Axiom's
some
down
silver
in
lining
this set
somewhere.
because of a significant increase in Exalt and Capture.
Well, but also Exalt of your opponent, and so that actually is going to hurt Axiom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Sanctum's all full of capture.
And all these enhance icons that we're just about to look at. Council Primus.
Council Primus. He is a 3-power creature, dinosaur politician, enhance capture 1. Move 1 from when he reaps, move 1 ember from a creature to another creature. So he is a Chantifuberus in critter form with an enhance icon. Does that make him better? I know you like Chant, Dan. I know you're not a huge fan of Chant, but a bigger fan than Z is.
Yeah.
Chant is better in this set because there's just so much spot amber. Chant is still not a card you want because there are other cards you probably want more. But, this one, he basically, you can think of him, he's capture 1, and then he has an ability to reap and move it away. He's not a high priority target, so he might sit around. I still feel like a lot of these 3-powered dinosaurs could have had elusive and still wouldn't have made them overpowered.
Yeah, and
I
remember
agree.
that he has the enhanced icon somewhere else in the deck. He doesn't necessarily have it.
Right.
So,
yes, I understand that, but he's adding that value to your deck. So.
Correct. I just think that being a 3-power with all the mutants at dealing 3 damage, he's too squishy.
Yeah, he definitely should have had elusive. In total, I'm not happy with that card. It's just there. It's filler.
Even
it's
with
common,
the elusive,
you're going to see a lot of them.
Yeah, even with the elusive, he's still, again, super duper duper squishy. Like, there's a lot in this set that just is dealing direct damage, and I don't know if we're going to have big board. Maybe we will. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have big boards in this set again.
Well, you're not going to have the silly giant boards that Worlds Collide can make. This is going to have some big build boards because there's a lot of draw and search. So you'll just get through your cards fast to get big boards that way. You'll have wide boards that won't necessarily be as meaty.
Yeah, for the creatures that we named earlier, kind of like ran away in Worlds Collide, sealed, and all kinds of stuff, even some of the Archon, and all 4 of them are gone. So,
yeah.
I mean, Deus is not going to do it. So, like, whatever. That's the only replacement you'd have for those 4, and 3 out of the 4 are game-winning cards. Stenopius can win a game, but not as effectively as the other 3. So, we'll see what we have, though.
Let's find out if I'm going to butcher this. I know I'm already going Cornison Octavia. I don't know if I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sure I'll hear about it. He is a 5-power, 1-armor dinosaur soldier. Action capture 2.
This looks very average to me. It's not bad. It's not good. I wouldn't hate to see it. Wouldn't love to see it. It's just there.
I mean, that's another card. I will take 7 Thorough Centurions over this guy. Every day I would take a Thorough Centurion before I want this guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, for sure.
More power, same armor, but I think Thorough Centurion's on the play fight, right?
Well, he's got, Play fight, right? So immediate
Play fight,
effect.
One immediate, yeah. The immediacy of it is the reason it's so good.
This is an action capture 2.
Yep.
Which has a little more strength in that it's 2, but he has to land, and then when he actions, he captures 2, but that doesn't get you anywhere in the game, and there are not a lot of spend amber off your own cards stuff. I mean, Brachus is here, so that could be something, but it's still real slow.
Yeah. Tis real slow.
I mean, like, without having Tribune, like, that's a big down.
So let's get into Curse of Vanity. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It is an action card. Exalt a friendly creature and an enemy creature. This seems very meh. I don't know.
It's another card you don't want, but if you have a blank board, it's not the worst thing you've ever played.
I guess. I mean, every card we can say that about a lot of cards in the set. Like, oh, if it happens to have this scenario, it's pretty good.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, well,
this is feeling very Brobnar Worlds Collide to me, man. I mean, like, obviously they're not doing the same things, but it's just like a lot of these cards that, they do what they do, and it makes sense that they're doing that, but it's not great.
You know,
this feels a lot more like what Exalt was said to be in the last set, where it's a risk to do some of these Exalt actions, where in the last set is like, often you just went Exalt crazy because either you were going to spend the Amber or you Ludo and trashed it or whatever. Like, you just protected it away. In this set, I mean, like, the amount of Exalt and stuff, the Amber we're putting on our creatures, it's like playing Capture from the last set or from previous sets where I'm just a bank for you, except now it's Exalt, so now I'm just generating you Amber that you're going to take from me at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like a worse version of Coda Sanctum. But there was some good cards in Coda Sanctum. Kinda.
Let's keep looking. Maybe it'll get better. I'm not going to go through the Sauruses. They're all the same. The Sauruses are the same as the Lycos, are the same as the Thieves are. You know, it's that generic 4-power whatever creature, and depending on its surname, it gets an ability. So we know what all those do. There's 6 in every set, 5 in every set, 6, right? 6.
Yeah, 6 in every house. So we've gone through them 3 times already. We're not going to keep going through them. Let's go through Defensive Initiative. It is an action card. Play a ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you exalt that creature. Does this say May? Yeah. Okay, I got to make sure that I'm hitting those Mays in time, because sometimes I add them in and sometimes I don't add them in. If you exalt it, ward each of its neighbors.
So this is just a bad Paraguardian card?
Yeah, more or less.
I don't know. I like this card. Paraguardian does have to fire. There is a delay on it. This is immediately warding 3 creatures.
Paraguardian stays on the board. He reaps and does it. There's no Amber. It can ward 3 creatures.
I like this card.
How many of those do you really want in your deck?
I mean,
1.
You don't need that many, but I like this card. I think this has a lot of value, especially as we noted, there's a lot of weaker Saurians now. Like, obviously you don't want Saurians, but right now I'm seeing this through a sealed lens. I could easily end up playing Saurian and sealed. I haven't seen anything that would draw me to have an Archon deck that has Saurians for mass mutation, but I like that card. Like, that has a lot of effect in sealed play. Because it takes a lot more effort sometimes to move the board state in your favor, and that could double that effort in some cases.
But we can agree this is worse than Imperium and worse than the other one that wards all your guys with Amber on them.
Oh yeah, Ancient Power set. But
this again, it's just like, it's another card where it's just a step down from Worlds Collide.
And it's common, so you're going to be seeing it.
Yep.
I don't think you have a choice. Let's move on to Faust the Great. I've kind of become a big fan of Faust playing the decks on TCO. Faust is a 4-power dinosaur creature. Your opponent's keys cost +1 for each friendly creature with Ember on it. You may and then when you play Faust, you may exalt a friendly creature.
That's pretty good. This is actually a pretty good card.
I've become a fan of playing him. He increased key costs quite quickly. If you're in a pickle.
and he is above the magic number of 3. So it does take more effort than all the other.
More effort, not a ton, but yeah, more effort. I mean, he's still squishy enough to die quickly.
And he's got a May effect, so you can pretty much always play him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like,
especially uncommon.
Okay.
Especially uncommon. I think that's a pretty good card. I'm a big fan of actually forcing them to forge. So yeah, it can move them off key late game, but like mid game, early game, if I can make their first key or second key cost 11 or 12 or something like this, like that's a great play. And that could easily happen if there's more than one in your deck. So yeah, I think this is good. Again, I don't see this being an Archon set that I want for any of these cards. But
was City State interest in this set? I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
it is. It is.
Is it? So that's. I mean,
yeah. City State Ancient Power in this guy, like there's still stuff here. But yeah, like if you have another 2 strong houses, we've seen some strong houses already. We've talked about them. Like that logo stuff. Like this would be one of those houses that I would want to have archived the whole game and go into a turn. You play 12 of these cards and they're the right cards. That could be game winning as far as like the amount of devastation you can do to your opponent's side. So yeah, there's still stuff happening, but I think they would need a lot more support than they used to. It's not going to be, I'm going to call Saurian 6 times in a row and win the game.
I definitely agree. You're not calling Saurian multiple times. What jumped out at me is this was actually the first new card for Saurian that actually seemed to be a card that I want or I want to be able to play. I like increasing my key cost, so I'm happy with that. But on a common set, I'm not real happy with most of the common cards that we saw earlier and what we're about to see with the last couple cards. What was interesting is with Mass Mutations, you're looking at these enhanced icons. And for Saurians, there's only 2 enhanced icon, like 2 cards that have enhanced icons.
Uncommon.
In uncommon.
No, they have more than that because they have Amphora in this set, don't they?
So there's 2 common cards.
Commons.
One uncommon and 1 rare. And out of that, for the uncommon, you're going to get 2 enhanced from it, and from Amphora for the rare, you're going to get 6. So it's interesting kind of what's there, but for Mass Mutations pushing that enhance, Saurian is not one that's adding a lot to other cards.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want... It's not looking like this would be the main like it used to be. A lot of the power decks out there that do have Saurians coming from Worlds Collide, like you're winning the game because you're calling Saurian 6 out of 10 times each game. Like that's a lot when it's normally around 3. So yeah, not seeing that gameplay, but I still think there's other stuff here. What do we got next week?
We have
his favorite creature, Galatops.
Oh God, another
Galatops, yeah. 12 power beast creature. Galatops only deals 4 damage when fighting. That's it. That's all he does.
So it's a worse pterodactyl, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't start stunned.
That's fine.
Maybe 5 episodes ago, we talked about this, and I went on a rant on how big power creatures are basically trash in this game, and 12 or 100, I don't really care, because especially if they limit him like this, where he can only deal 4 damage, he just does nothing for me.
Yeah, it's bad. I'd rather pterodactyl.
Worst case scenario, he's still a body that reaps.
Yep.
And that's my view on it. And we're not going to get into that argument again. Me and Dan can sit here and box later on. I know where he lives, so I
think he has a lot of reap value. I'm just saying, like, I'm not a big fan of this design. Like, I think he will net you possibly 2 amber a game played early. He should always get to reap, right? Minus board wipe stuff. So I mean, he has value. It's just I'm not a fan of the style.
I just don't understand why they limit like these big creatures to low damage. Like
even
anything,
4.
Anything above a 9, I think they've always limited it. Like Antidil only deals 2.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl.
Meganarp can do 10.
That's why he's the best card in the game.
I think I would have liked to see more of like the Lollip approach to this where they suck on defense because they're big, slow creatures,
Right.
but they have decent offense.
Yeah, Lollop, I was going to say, Lollop's the only guy who can deal his full damage on offense. That's above a 9. That isn't pumped. Let me rephrase that, because obviously Stenopius can get real big, real fast.
Gromid's a 10. Right?
Is Gromid a 10? You sure? Yeah, he is a 10, but he's also Coda. He doesn't count.
We're getting down a track of still pointless big creatures.
So yeah, they still all have limitations. Obviously, Gromit has his limitation. Payload has his limitation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no big creature in the game that does damage both ways that does not have limitation.
Right. So that's about it. He's a pretty bland card overall. I mean, he's very vanilla. That's about it. Let's move into Monument to Ludo. It is a artifact action. Move 1 Ember from a creature to the common supply. If Perfectress Ludo is in your discard pile, move 2 Ember from that creature to the common supply instead. Too slow or seems decent?
I would rather have the other one. What is it? Library? Oh, it's still here too. I don't know why, but whatever. I don't know why we need
this card is bad.
And Library of Poly, since Library is in set.
Well, so this
is a redundancy.
There's monuments. Because we're going to see them. There's Monument to Council Primus, and there's Monument to Senator Shrix as well. So this is their
special rarity
equivalent of blasters or megas or whatever, where they they all have the base effect of the creature plus something. So this is just like a bad monument, kind of like Ingram's Blaster was a bad blaster. Because they are doing this sort of procedurally generated thing. Some of them just aren't going to be good. And I think this is a situation where it just isn't good. I think this could have definitely just been action, remove all the amber from a creature. That would have made it good. You still would have had to have your Ludo in the trash to make it happen. Plus, it's an action, so it's slow. Yeah, not in love with this card at all.
So what I put down, I know what they're trying to do with the special rarity, but there's a ton of artifacts in Mass Mutations that I've seen so far, and so I think that is a real problem. I think that it's slow with it being an artifact. Honestly, the Monument to Ludo is one of the better monuments compared to the others, but it is still poor.
You think so? I don't like this one at all.
I think compared to the others, I think this, like, the others get even worse if that's possible. Honestly, I think is really slowing down Saurian and making it, there's going to be some absolute horrible lineups coming from Saurian for Mass Mutations.
Your triple Ludo, triple Monument to Ludo deck? Woohoo! Some reversal golden.
Does that mean I get 3 Ludos if I get a triple Monument to Ludo deck?
Probably.
Oh boy. I mean, Ludo's a good card and all, but he doesn't do too much on his own.
Yeah, I'm about to say I have a deck with 4 Ludos. It's not good.
Yeah,
because as you just said,
he doesn't do too much by himself.
Two's a real good number if you have support for him, but like after you get more than 2, you're just like, okay, they all do the same thing, guy.
Yeah. And there's no capturing. Speaking of Ludo, he's back. Perfectress Ludo will be reprinted in the set. Let's move into, and again, cards I'm going to have a real tough time pronouncing.
Call it the gaze.
Sagittarius Gaze. Sagittarius Gaze? We'll go with that. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It is an action. It will enhance 1 damage in your deck. Play Exalt a damaged creature. I'm going to leave it to Z and Dan to tell me why this card is good.
It's not.
Okay.
Like, it's borderline just bad if somehow the enhanced hit this card. Because then you could actually do the whole thing all in 1 turn.
This is another one of those awesome ones where you may have to exalt your own creature to play this card to get its Ember, so then it's just a discard. This is trash. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Okay. I was reading this card late last night, and I'm like, so why is this card good? And I don't.
I mean,
understand
like this card should have like 3 enhanced damages on it or something. Like this card,
And
I get-
uncommon or rare, I mean, like, just think 4 of these in a deck.
well, like if I had 4 of them a deck and it gave me 12 damage from hand, like that's
Oh,
significant.
Sure, but it's not. It's 4 damage from hand in random places.
No, that's fine. It's still going to happen. I like the math behind that. I'm good with it being anywhere. But in this case, oh no, like I'm saying I would want 4 of them if it had more enhanced damage on it.
Right.
Like this is all
I agree.
awful. Like if like I understand like them putting low numbers of enhance on comments and then making the card generically bad because its effect is the enhance. But like there should have been at least 2 on this. I think the game, based on the power levels of the decks we're seeing these days, could have warranted 3. If it was 3, I would actually been a fan of this card and the design of this card. But without the 3 pips of damage there, this is just really, really bad. Like this is probably the first card we've talked about that I absolutely don't want in my deck, whether I'm playing Sealed, Archon, whatever. I just don't want it there. I'll take whatever. Ides of Beware the Ides way before I want this.
Is Ides of March?
I might actually take this. I hate both cards, though. I mean, like, this... I'm thinking, like, this card, maybe if you have 4 copies of this card, it makes it
No.
enough of a burst kind of thing.
That just means every time you call Saurian, you're doing jack crap. Like, that's...
You're not. The only thing that you're hoping for is that your creatures aren't damaged. Because then you don't have to exalt and you just get the Amber. That's all that you're hoping for.
Well, I mean, you're going to exalt. Yeah, hopefully there's something on the opponent's side. But yeah, that card's bad.
Yep.
All right, Spoils of Battle.
Spoils of Battle. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It is an action. Play a friendly creature, captures 1 Ember. Each creature with Ember on it captures 1 Ember from its opponent.
So that means this is immediately actually a capture 2.
Yep.
Well, but this is a dual side too, right? This can screw
and
you.
Then it becomes more like Pandemonium.
I was just going to say, it's Pandemonium, but it's guaranteed to work once.
Sort of. I mean, like, I don't hate this card.
This is one of the cards that I have to wait on judgment. Like, I have to play this. I have to actually see how it works in play. This could actually be a really good card.
This is probably a little less good in Sealed and a little bit better in Archon when you're going to face Coda and
like this
AOA where they have less capture.
A significant card, especially if we're talking about that Archon deck that happens to have Saurian, and we need some commons that we want. So this could actually be a very effective card because Ludo's still here, right? Like you can make some stuff happen in certain scenarios, but I'd have to play the set at all. I have not played it. I've seen the cards talked about it. People keep talking about it. I've seen some games played, but I've not. I would prefer to play my first one in person versus online. But whatever. We'll see.
It is 5 amber-pipped common actions to 2 non-amber-pipped common actions. So in that regard, like, there's quite a lot of common amber pips available in Saurian here. So they're going to be a little bit fast in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, they have the pips and stuff. We'll see what their rares look like as far as like how they can really support. I still, because the commons don't have the board stuff that we used to see. Obviously, I don't think you can sit in Saurian, but we'll see.
Well, I also don't see any taunt, so that protection.
Yep. No common taunt.
Correct, no common taunt. There's a little bit of warding, but that's dangerous with Amber out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about...
Because that means we lost the Legionary and Brutodon, right?
Yep, both are gone. Yep. Let's talk about Nero Centurion. He's a reprint. Enough said, right?
He's good. Still good.
Still
Always
good.
Gonna be good.
Yeah, he's still good. Ancient Powers is going to be reprinted in this set. Let's go into Blast from the Past. It is an action card. Play Exalt a friendly creature. Archive a Saurian creature from your discard pile. Deal damage equal to the archived creature's power to an enemy creature. Lot going on here. That seems like a decent card.
I like that. I mean, it's a good card. I wish it had a pip. At uncommon, it probably would. Oh, it definitely wouldn't be overpowered, even if it had a pip. But yeah, I like stuff like that. Not much to say about it, though.
Dan, tell me why I'm wrong.
This is a pretty good card.
Oh, okay.
Again, I don't hate these Exalted-friendly creature things, because there are blank board states where it becomes better. Here's where you want your Galatops, maybe? 12 damage? Woohoo!
Yeah.
He still dies to Ides if he's in the middle of the battle line.
So
the fact that you're archiving that creature, though, is kind of slow.
If you grab either half of Deus, do you deal 20? Question.
There's a lot of question marks on what happens with the top half of the 2-part creatures, because it has no traits listed on it. It has no power, no toughness, no nothing. That's quite the question on what happens
at the
with
moment.
The top half.
If I'm the judge at my area or prime or whatever, I would say you're dealing 20. It is still that creature.
Here's the thing: they ruled on this like way back when a lot
what
of
was
these,
the ruling?
It depends on what's the question. I mean, they deemed it if it's bottom half or top half, he's still a creature.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
But he doesn't have a power number on the top half.
Oh, so if you go and archive,
but it's still that creature. Its power is 20.
I see what you're saying.
Wow, there's only half of a creature there, so it's probably only 10.
But that's the thing that they... Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, until we see otherwise, I'm ruling it deals 20 damage regardless of which half.
I would rule with you as well. I mean, okay. I'm with you. I think the top half of the card has the traits, it has the power. While it's out of play, it has those intrinsic values with it.
Yeah, it's the same card, whether it's combined or not. You just cannot play it until they're both there.
This is the first card they printed where the power of something in archive or
discard mattered.
And this is also the first set where there's cards that are like setting all in-play creatures to 1, but pretty sure that doesn't affect out-of-play creatures. But they're making a bunch of these kinds of cards that could potentially lead to more really dumb quizzes of, hey, real edge case stuff.
Whoever Neil is, he's ready. He's sure
excited.
He's got all kinds of images ready and questions.
Neil's just slathering at them. He's just in a corner slathering. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get him.
It is an off play. I don't like the idea of... The only downside I see here was the archive a Saurian creature, meaning, okay, I just played Saurian, I want to come back, but you're pulling back. That's their new regrowth kind of arise. It's coming in, putting it into archive.
Delayed, yeah.
What's interesting, though, is the ability to go ahead and pull one of those gigantic creatures. In this case, you're archiving it. That actually is a huge help to be able to get the other one. So
yeah, that way, like if this is in your deck, you don't have to worry about like when you see it whether you need to hold it or not. You just dash it immediately. You have Blast from the Past. You get that 20 damage hit. I mean, I like this card, and that was before I thought of the Deus. I don't like Deus, but like if he's in my deck, this card's value goes way up.
This just feels like one of those cards where every time I play it, I'm not going to have anything in my discard
pile.
Do it with. It's going to be.
Are you one of those people that hate Exhume? One of the best cards of the game, but this card's crap.
Well, I play that deck that's triple Exhume, triple Phalanx Strikes, and
with 10 creatures. I remember.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, when it fires, it's just a monster, but sometimes you get 3 Exhumes and 3 Phalanx Strikes in your first 10 cards, and you kind of want to cry.
Like my premier deck is a card. It has 23 creatures, 2 Exhumes. I still end up playing Exhume sometimes for no effect other than the Amber. But I'm not gonna. I mean, it's still a great card.
Yeah. No, I think this is a pretty good card. Although there are going to be a lot of times where if you get this in the first half of the deck, you may actually be discarding one of your in-hand Saurian cards to trigger this effect because killing is more important than playing.
Yeah, especially since, as we talked about, you're probably not calling Saurian next turn. But speaking of good cards, next card is one of the best cards in the game.
City State Interest is reprinted yet again. So, yay!
Yeah, everyone captures one. Thanks.
Each friendly creature captures as well. Yay! Which makes Faust kind of overpowered. Yay! Oh, wait. That could be a little dirty combo. But anyway. City State being reprinted. Curiosaurus. I think I said that right. Each creature, it's a location artifact. Each creature with Ember on it gains destroyed. Move 1 Ember from this creature to the most powerful enemy creature. That seems pretty good. A little slow, but pretty good.
I don't know if that's slow, actually. I think that
you gotta find it, and then you gotta hit it.
Intriguing.
It's two-sided.
I get that it's two-sided, but if you're capturing more than them, which in most cases you are, this is still Saurian, and you're exalting, like this means exalt what? Doesn't affect you anymore, right?
Well, no. I mean, so all that amber, you stack it up, and then you kill a bunch of your guys, however, or they kill a bunch of your guys, it all stacks up on their biggest guy, and then I guess, yeah, when you kill him, only one of it goes away.
Yeah.
Well, this could also be really
I think this greatly minimized, like, because we talked about them putting all this amber on themselves with less protection. I think this card could swing a lot of amber back to you.
Because there's a lot of little exalt and little 1 amber things, and yeah, you're right. This card, as long as they have a creature in play,
so even if I am stacking like 10 amber on their one dude, and he dies, and then 1 goes back to me, I still get all of the rest.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good. This in some ways is better than Tribute because it doesn't care that it's your strongest creature. It works with all your little 1 bitty exalts. It's not Ludo where it's destroying it; it's throwing it over onto his single biggest creature. So
and this could
actually get it back.
Add a lot of weird protection for the 3s we were talking about earlier, because like if they all have amber on them, they're not going to want to kill them.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. This card could make a crappy Saurian lineup good.
And I know I'm not a big fan of like the duality cards where like this could really hurt you, this could really help if it's in the other favor, but the way we're seeing Saurian, this should almost always be good inside of your Saurian set of 12. This should generally be good, really good against AOA and Coda decks. You could potentially be screwed if you're going up against a better Saurian deck that's in Worlds Collide.
Yeah, you go up against their Stenopius or their whatever, and you just keep making them bigger.
Yeah. So that's probably a huge weakness against this card. You don't want to play Saurian Worlds Collide against with this, but like
that's why this was reprinted, baby.
Yeah.
It's an artifact, and there's a lot of artifact hate. So I don't think this card is very good. But if you think this card's going to save your deck, especially in the mass mutation meta, I think there's enough common artifact destruction out there that you may get yourself in a trap trying to count on this card.
Can this card also make a Sanctum Saurian lineup not bad?
Sanctum Saurian lineup with Ludo is already not bad. Because now you've got Taunt coming out of Sanctum to protect your Ludo, and you stack it up and it can be okay.
But now
this card, any capture, exalt, heavy game plan, this card is super strong for.
Cool. Should we move on, or you got more?
So, my last thought on this card plus any other board wipe. Because when I play it, I get to move all the amber 1 at a time, doing destroyed effects on my side before I do your destroyed effect. Moving 1 amber back to me, right? Mm-hmm. So, like this with a board wipe is pretty silly because of how destroyed effect timing works. Now, on the other hand, your opponent can't really do anything too crazy. I guess it doesn't matter who triggers that board wipe because all that amber is going to go to their. If you have all the amber, it all goes to their biggest, and then he dies.
Yep.
Yeah, this card seems really good.
Okay. We went from mediocrity. Okay, gonna make your Saurian lineup better. Never mind, this card's really good. We watched the
until they destroy it.
Yeah, until it gets hawked. So, let's move into Dark Centurion. Enhance to capture. Action. Oh, I'm sorry, he is a 5-power creature, mutant soldier, before we move into that. Action, move 1 ember from a creature to the common supply. If you do, ward that creature. Seems slow, but possibly good. Am I the only one still in the chat?
No, it's
Okay.
I agree. This seems pretty good. Capture. I mean, the enhanced capture 2 is. You're not sad about that. The fact that it's an action again is kind of a bummer.
It's slow.
But he's of reasonable size, so he'll probably survive. He's a mutant, so he synergizes with a bunch of silly mutant stuff.
He'll make it a turn or two, giving you
he can
the opportunity to use him.
He can ward one of those creatures who's getting all the amber dumped on him.
I think he's the middle of the road card. I like the design. I do like what they're doing here. KeyForge needs cards in this range. I think he should have been uncommon, maybe with one of the enhanced instead.
He is
uncommon.
He is uncommon.
I mean, I think he should have been on common.
Oh, okay.
I said that weird.
On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With one enhanced instead of 2. But I understand why he's here at uncommon because of the 2 enhance. No, I think he's fine. I think he fits in what they're trying to do for sure. But
I'm reading the next card up. Dreadbone Decimus, 5 power. Play fight. You may exalt Dreadbone Decimus. If you do, destroy a creature with lower power than Dreadbolt Decimus. And I'm trying to figure out a way to make him busted, and I just haven't figured it out yet. I know there's
he's
a way.
Not busted. He's like, I don't know, he's good.
I'm trying to figure out a way to make him, but at base, he's not busted.
So what jumped out at me is instead of Whisper, where I'm going to go ahead and lose an Amber, here I'm exalting in order to destroy a creature. But you also have the downside of it has to be lower.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't see anything that's busted.
There's no downside here. A lot of the stuff you have to kill in this game are still small. 1 to 4 power. So yeah, I think he's real good. It's a May. You're not forced. So no.
And I like that they put it as a play effect too.
Yeah.
Yep.
He seems pretty good. He gets a really crappy arc score for what seems relatively decent.
Yeah.
He's a fight ability.
Yeah.
If he was a reap ability, he'd be really good. Because he's on a fight ability, like he's probably only ever going to really trigger once.
Probably. I was thinking of ways like the fittest, like the bruise, but I'm like, those aren't in set, so I can't do it. I can't really work with those unless I get, a legacy. I'd have to also get a legacy house for one of the.
Well, Untamed has all those counters.
Yeah, that is true.
Untamed can make this guy big. I don't know if that's a synergy I'm looking to necessarily have. I'm just talking about the play effect. A lot of the game is some of these things don't last that long. As we said, we're not going to want to call Saurian a bunch. But having the play effect, yes, you have to exalt to do it, so that is a condition. But there's very few things in this game that say, I kill that creature without other random conditions, like them being on the flank or the middle or whatever. So that's a huge deal. And it just being exalt, and especially if you have, your Curiosaurus out, who cares? I exalted. I'm going to get it back eventually.
Like this guy with that Dark Centurion, that is kind of a fun
little
2-card
little 2-piece
combo. But it doesn't. It's just board control. It doesn't make you progress your win
it
condition.
does nothing for you.
Yeah, that's why I was focused on the play effect.
Yeah.
It's a 5-body. Again, I'm probably going to get to reap with him the next time I do call Saurian. Unless they do foresee him a threat, and then they're going to spend a lot of effort to get him off the board, and that's great. If someone spends a ton of effort to kill this guy, that's all money in the bank. Because I already got my effect most likely. I killed the thing I wanted to kill. If they're worried about that continuing to happen, they have to expend effort, and that's not going to show up in your amber pool directly, but that is gains that you did not have before.
Making them gains. All right. Another reprint, Exile, is making its way back.
Less good without tribute.
I was going to
right?
say less good without all the fun stuff to pile on amber and then ship them to your opponent. But it will be in set. Gladiodontus. I think I got that one. He enters place. He's a 15 power mutant. He enters place stunned. This is the first one that does more than 4 damage, just 5 damage when fighting. Woohoo! And if this is the Reap fight, if this is the first time Gladiodontus has been used this turn, ready and enrage it.
That's bad.
Really? I mean, like, as far as dumb big creatures are,
he's one of the better ones.
He's one of the, I think that 4 versus 5 makes a big difference. And now I'm still not a fan of big creatures. Still don't really want this guy in my deck. But of all the trashy big creatures, the fact that he does 5 over 4 makes a big difference because there are a lot of very important 5s now.
I think the art's fantastic. I don't like it. I mean, I think I like the 12 at the top that doesn't come in sun better than this.
But you always get to use him twice.
Yeah, he gets to reap and then fight.
And then loses in rage.
And he can do that every turn for 3 turns pretty easy with 15 power. He's not great. I mean, how many times have we played our pterodactyls and he comes and plays stunned? And he's still sitting there stunned from turn 1. You know, it's the fact that he comes into play stunned does make him probably too slow to ever be really good. But if you do unlock him...
Imperial Road's still here, so that's actually pretty good.
I think the problem that we're seeing is we don't want to be coming back to Saurian. So with him being like, that's the real issue. I like the fight reap. I like that I can use him to reap and then fight afterwards. But if he is stunned, I don't want to be coming back to Saurian. So for me, that's a real down.
I would have liked him a lot better in Worlds Collide.
Yes.
They could have made this a lot worse and said, ready and exalt it. I mean, like, then this card would have been real trashy. But ready and enrage it, I think, is pretty good with a 15 power guy.
Alrighty, where are we at now? Hedonistic Intent. We're already coming up on our hour, so we're going to try to wrap these up as quickly as we can. Hedonistic Intent. Pip of Ember every time you play it. Exalt each flank creature.
Dual-sided.
Yeah, it works both ways, so. Enlighten us, Dan, and Z. Good, bad.
If you have Curiosaurus, it works. If not, bad.
See, this is one that doesn't work great with Curiosaurus necessarily because that exalt you put on theirs is going to come over to your side, and then they're going to get it. This works better with the other City-State Indra style card. This is good if they play some creatures and you get to play it for an amber, stick amber on their guys.
Yeah, you're right. Now I think about it a little bit more. I don't know. Without Tribune, Sinopius, Primus, this is going in the bad category for me.
Yep, pretty much bad card.
All right.
There'll be times where if they have a blank board, you can't play it. You're not going to.
All righty. Let's move on to Humble because it has another one of my favorite flavor texts on it. It is a Saurian action. Pip of Ember every time you play it. Exhaust a creature. Oh my goodness, I just swallowed spit down the wrong tube. If you do, move 3 Ember from that creature to the common supply. And then if you read its flavor text, it's darn you all to this, you damn dirty apes. All right,
panel. Rules question. Can I target an already exhausted creature here?
No.
Yes, but you did not exhaust him, so you wouldn't remove the Amber.
You were saying, can you target? Sure, you can target, but you're not going to do the action.
Yeah.
You're saying just to get the Amber pip on the card.
Yeah.
This card has some interesting flexibilities in that it lets you dump Amber off some creature you've stacked up. It can exhaust a very important creature for 1 turn for 1 Amber, but I don't think it's that good. It's just not as good as a lot of other cards that have done similar type things that are just much better. Right, Nocturnal Maneuvers is probably a better card than this.
Interesting. All right. Let's move into cards we've already seen. Library of Polyosaurus. We've already seen this card, so we're not going to go through it. We've also already gone over the Saurian egg. I don't think our views have really changed. Even when playing with it, I don't think our views have really honestly changed to it.
Crapshoot luck.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's move into Senator Quintina.
Hey, it does combo with Dreadbone, though.
The egg?
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it
neat.
does combo. Yeah, it makes him an 8. Yeah, it does kind of combo with Dreadbone. Interesting. But Senator Quintina, 5-power dinosaur politician. After a creature reaps, exalt it?
That's both sides.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I wanted to say, I had to, if you heard in my voice, I had to make sure that I said exalt it as opposed to stun it. I got so used to AOA, it was stun it. No, exalt it.
Yeah, this is like exact opposite of AOA. This increases game speed.
Interesting.
In that if they're going to try to win, they're going to make it easier for you to win if they need to reap.
That's another reserve judgment. I got to see that played. I got to see how that affects the mentality of my opponents. Do they try to kill it real fast? Do they try to just pump up the amber that's flooding into the game? Like, I want to see how people play when that is in play before I can say whether this is good or bad. Because I think this is going to go to, like, its effectiveness is actually going to come to how drastically it screws with your opponent's gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, Z, is that I want to be able to wait and see. But I think this could really help some of that coda with Shadows, where I'm going to go ahead and reap and then be able to give you a little bit from killing something and then be able to pull it back. So this is a very, I need to wait and see, but that's interesting with the Exalt.
And the main reason I'm saying this is because, like, I highly undervalued Amber Spine Mongrel originally. That makes some people do some really weird things back in the day. The one where if your opponents reap, you gain an Amber. Like, it makes them do some weird things that I think have had raised the value of that card for me.
Amber Spine's back, right?
He sure
I we saw it.
is. Nope.
Yeah,
so,
so
like, you could have a Candle Unit, Quintina, Amber Spine deck. So every time you reap, I gain one, I draw one, and you exalt.
Well, that's not the scenario I was talking about. It's obvious they have to kill all your things in that scenario. Like, if this person's on the board, because, like, it's interesting to me, like, because the other two are just one-sided. This is both-sided. So I think people could do some tactically big errors, but I want to see it played out first before I make a final judgment on that, because it could be real bad, but it might be really good.
A lot stronger and lower creature count decks, I would think, where you're less counting on your own reaping.
Mm-hmm.
High pip, low creature count decks.
And this is the first card that I've seen I think could potentially, even though some decks they would still get real big, if you had the right, like, board wipes in your deck, this could swing things in your favor against another Saurian deck in Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Because if you have the board wipes that actually kill everything with less conditions that we saw in, like, Dis and Untamed, them exalting their creatures could end up way worse for them than you.
Yeah, this is kind of like an anti-synergy with Axiom of Grist.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, like.
For sure. So you don't want Axiom in the deck if you have this, but, like, I could see this being a one-up against some really good Worlds Collide Saurian decks that I can think of right now. So it'd be interesting to see. What's this next thing? I haven't seen that. Looks cool. The picture.
I'm just thinking, why do you not want Axiom with her?
Because when I reap with my creatures, I exalt them, so now your Axiom can't kill them.
Yep.
Oh, you're meaning
your opponent.
I got what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, your opponent can save all of their creatures.
Yeah. Roger. Siren Horn. It is an upgrade. It's the first upgrade we've seen in, like, a long time, it feels like. Pip of Ember, every time you play it, this creature gains. Before fight, move 1 Ember from this creature to the creature it fights.
I mean, it's not great, but it's cool. I mean, it makes sense. You move the Ember, you kill them, you get the Ember. I don't know.
I think it's one of those cards I think we've already talked about. You're going to see in sealed play be used, but not so much in Archon.
There isn't a single skirmisher.
That is true. Not,
and then you
got
to find ways to get amber on the guy. So I don't know. I don't like this card at all. It seems way
skirmishers
too.
And
I think the art's really good, but yeah, it's probably below average in total things, especially for an upgrade.
Yeah.
Normally they try to make them somewhat decent because there aren't that many, unless they're in Star Alliance and they have a ton of them. Stomp's back. It's still okay.
Yeah, it feels well. Back to Siren Horn real quick. It feels like you don't play this on a Saurian creature, but I could be wrong. But because then it doesn't really serve a purpose. But either way, Stomp's back. Like Z said, still good. Pterodactyl is made a comeback again. Really, just big meaty things in Saurian, which all enter play stun, dealing 4 damage when they fight. So we're really gonna have to see how that kind of shakes out. Amphora Captura. We've already gone through that. It seems really, really, really good. And has proven, I think, itself to be really, really, really good through the sealed decks and what we've seen thus far.
Am I wrong in that if the card didn't have its written resolve and it just enhanced to put 2 amber, 2 damage, 2 draw on the deck, and it didn't do anything else, it would probably still be a card you wouldn't hate having in your deck?
No,
you're not wrong. I mean, if it just had that, it's still worth a rare spot in your deck.
And it was an amber pip action or something that's just threw it out?
Because as I mentioned earlier, like I know there's some weirdness about decks of KeyForge and where these attributes get assigned. Because regardless of what they're printed on, that means there's still 2 amber, still 2 damage, still 2 draw in your deck. So yes, there's not many cards in the game that can give you that value. So yes, it's still worth it, regardless of its static effect. Which the static effect is still pretty good.
Yeah, well, I think often turning some of these crappy 1 point of damage into a capture would be really good, because sometimes this 1 damage is just nothing.
Like think about if you got that disc deck that has like 12 extra damage in your deck somewhere from all the enhanced dis effects, like those all become capture. That's a real good situation.
I really like this card, so.
Yeah.
By this card, you mean Crystal Surge? No?
Oh, yeah, no, I meant Amphora.
Crystal Surge, Pipple of Ember, every time you play it. Exalt each mutant creature. This seems to be a roll of the dice. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Going to be probably decent in sealed play, depending.
Yeah, it looks bad, but it's a rare, so that goes back to the...
Yeah.
The decks have to have bad cards. There we are.
It's probably good as a rare. It has an interesting effect. Doesn't often do anything great, so it's not everywhere, and that's fine.
I'm gonna say I don't know, and I can't say this to be sure, but I don't know how many mutants are in. How many mutants are in this set for Saurians? So I think having Saurians, you have a lower chance, but I could be wrong.
Quite a few.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few, but I thought there was less than other houses. But moving along, Diplomacy is getting a reprint. And so is Good of the Many and Grim Locust Dukes. Forum of Giants. Pip of Ember, every time you play it. It is an artifact. At the start of your turn, the player who controls the most powerful creature gains 1.
Better hope you're not playing Worlds Collide Saurian.
Yeah, I mean, in sealed, this seems like there are plenty of big creatures that you could have it happen, but there's plenty of uncontrolled destruction that destroys regardless of power, where this could turn to your opponent. In sealed, it's...
Mm-hmm. I don't like this at all. Because it is at the start of your turn, that means your opponent just went. So they have the highest active effect on the game state for this trigger. No, like I don't like it.
No, I think it's gonna be good and sealed.
I don't even think that.
No, I think it's gonna have its place in sealed. If
any turn where your opponent plays a board wipe and then they play 1 creature, this amber goes to them.
Yeah, but that's 1 ember.
Yeah, but if their 1 creature is 6 power and you can't play something bigger than it for many turns.
I think this gives more amber to your opponent on average than you do, because the trigger is controlled mostly by your opponent.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll have more use than we're giving it credit for. And it makes a good target for your own hawk.
So what was interesting on this was what decks of KeyForge actually had it listed for expected amber and arc. I thought that was really interesting when I was looking. I'm still in the boat that I don't think it's good, but that's just
0 to 4. What?
Yeah, 0 to 4.
Yeah. And I think this is a card that is going to see some major tweaking. But again, we'll see what it comes out to.
I mean,
go ahead.
0 sounds right.
I think this gets discarded more than it gets played quite often. This is, I don't know.
I mean, an Archon, and you can know what your opponent can do. It may have a spot, but in sealed, it is real risky.
I did go quickly and check mutants. There are 10 mutants that are here in Saurian lineup. Obviously, the majority of those are the combo mutants. I think there's 6 of them. So there are not a lot outside of that.
Yeah, but I think the combo mutants show up at common rarity. So
do they now?
That's what we're hypothesizing.
I think so. So like you're gonna see them.
Good
Maybe
times.
they come up as uncommon. I'm not really sure.
Well, but that's a wash. So, like, when you're comparing house to house, if you actually want to do the analysis, you'll just need to ignore that number entirely because that's the same for all the houses.
Yeah.
So
there were 4 outside of that.
Okay, then it's 4, and you would want to actually compare that against what the number of mutants that are not the combo mutants in the other houses. 4 obviously sounds like it's pretty freaking low, though.
Yeah. Still doesn't make that card good.
Especially when we were doing Untamed and like every other thing was a mutant.
Was a mutant.
And then I think there was a significant number of Logos mutants as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Logos has always had mutants because Desanya's always been a mutant. I think there's another one that was too. But yeah, so not that many mutants as far as their Crystal Surge. It's mainly to target not them, probably.
Yeah, that's my assumption is.
Yeah.
But let's move into High Priest Torvis. He has a 4-power, a 1 Ember Dinosaur Priest. Reap, you may exalt High Priest Torvis. If you do, after you resolve your next action card this turn, return it to your hand instead of placing it into your discard pile. Thoughts on this card?
With city-state interest, I mean, like, it's unlikely that card actually having double effect is going to be meaningful. If you got a small board. I guess I'm just thinking there's not a lot of Saurian actions where I was so excited about them.
That's where I was at. I'm like,
play them twice.
I'm like, hey, this seems good, but what do I want to play twice?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's weird.
It's like it's a really good ability on a set of cards. You're like, I don't know if there's many actions in this house I want to play twice.
It should be amazing. Like, I am having a real hard time targeting that action, though. I mean, like,
Ancient Power.
Yeah, you would twice. That doesn't.
I guess most of those, like we're saying, most of them have Amber Pips on them, so it's kind of just another Amber Pip.
It's really got to be City State or Blast from the Past. I think that's the highest value I'm seeing.
A lot of these abilities, like repeating their effect, doesn't necessarily do anything.
True.
Right? Because even on City State, you often capture out their whole board anyway. So when you repeat City State, there may not be anything else to capture.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like I have a very good deck that has City State, and most of the time after I play the card, they have no Ember.
It's like double Humble as good as it gets.
Spoils the battle, but again, they're going to be out of Amber.
It's one of those things where it's like the power is amazing.
This would be broken in in many other houses. In this house,
if this was a Logos card,
Legacy Tribute, right?
I guess I don't know. I mean, but if you could imagine if this was a Logos card,
you want it Maverick?
Hot diggity! Yeah, you want this card in Maverick, Otis? Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of out of house cheating, but we haven't looked at Star Alliance yet. So maybe
we'll have
in
to
a combo
keep that
Star
up.
Alliance stack.
So I'll get that poll up as soon as I'm done editing this bad boy. Let's move into Imperial Road is getting a reprint. So if you're a big Imperial Road fan, look forward to that. Legion's March is not a reprint. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It is an action card. Play for the remainder of the turn. After you use a dinosaur creature, deal 1 damage to each non-dinosaur creature.
use. That's a lot. I mean, I could play that twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you still have to have guys on the board to do it.
True.
And now you're talking about double rares to get use
I
on
was
a
going to
Taurus?
say, you're also talking double rare now.
Yeah, if I want a double rare, it's not going to be that.
If this was play/use a dinosaur creature, it might do something. It's use only, too situational.
Like, this is very much like Charge. If anyone has played a decent Charge deck, like, if the deck supports it entirely, it's great. If it doesn't support it entirely, it's horrible. So, like, that's what this is. Like, if you have a deck that will have a big battle line, that will get value out of it, it can be real good. In any other deck, it's not going to be a card worth having other than a pip. Like Charge.
Yep. I am fully in agreement on that one. It's again, it sounds good in theory, but then you're like, but what's sticking? And there's not a ton. Let's move into Nero Taurus. He is a 6-power dinosaur politician. Fight. Enemy creatures cannot reap during your opponent's next turn. Reap. Enemy creatures cannot fight during your opponent's next turn.
I like this. I think this is actually pretty good.
Very good.
I dig it. Yeah, it's giving your opponent
Action denial
It's always
on
good.
an action is very powerful. Like, both of these effects are cards in the game.
That reap effect
Yeah.
in sealed could quite possibly
This could
make
win
it
a
so
game
you
in
could
sealed.
have your stupid Saurian board that they can't touch, and you have 5 guys that you just
Yeah.
keep reaping with because they cannot fight them, and they
This
don't
could
have
end
another
up-
answer.
This could easily end up having your opponent like constantly searching through their deck for answers. Obviously, there's a ton of answers to a 6-power creature, but like, you get it in the right situation, which can easily happen. This card can win you a game in sealed. I don't think it would be powerful enough to affect an Archon game, but again, if we're talking about this is just a support house in an Archon deck. Give me some ambassadors to use this thing out of house while I'm on Star Alliance. This is also a good card in that Archon deck.
And
So-
see, when you're talking about having 2 of those rares. this
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah, if I want 2 of these. Like, okay, you can't fight a reap past turn.
Well, the fight, like the reap effect, the fight effect's kind of interesting because he has to survive.
Yeah.
At 6 power, he can probably
So he
do.
fights into an elusive. I mean,
Yeah.
how often does that happen? Pretty often nowadays.
I'm saying, but he has to have something to fight into.
True.
Which I
true.
guess if he has nothing to fight into, there's nothing to reap, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Right.
But, he has to survive the fight, so he can only do the fight effect maybe twice, maybe only once if they have decent board.
You
I mean, I
still
think
have
the
Ward
reap
on
effect is
common.
really
It's not
where
the
it's
best
good.
Ward, but you still have Ward on common as an action.
Sure. I see you're going to use the reap. Well, you just try to set up your key, and then you use the fight effect late game to just deny them from getting to their last key, hopefully. Well, you finish out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy with a big board could be really, really good.
Yeah.
I think this guy alone is actually pretty decent in sealed, because like, if you can, like, every time you do call Saurian, you're reaping and they're not fighting at all. I mean, like, early game, that is often the answer. Just like suicide your people into things that are a threat. Especially if you can find a way to reap out of house. This gets really sick.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of. Again, we got to go through Star Alliance.
Was Ghost Hawk printed?
I have no idea.
Yes.
Ghost Hawk was printed, yes.
There we go. Sign me up for that.
Yeah. So Ghost Hawk getting way better. Optiogorkis. He is an elusive 3-power, 3 armor dinosaur soldier. Each of Optiogorkis' neighbors gain destroyed. Move each ember on this creature to a neighbor of Optiogorkis.
That's weird.
To a neighboring Optiogorkis.
Oh,
so
to a
his neighbors move
Yeah,
amber
sorry.
to him.
The amber switches sides. Wait.
No, the amber
each-
comes onto him.
Yeah, it's moving to him with his 3 armor.
If Scudam existed in this
Oh,
set,
okay, I get it. So, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it now. Okay. That is worded. It's not worded funny. It's just a funny.
He is super
Thing.
sticky. I think he'll get to reap a lot. I do like the fact that that's someone that's going to stick around. A 3/3 elusive is going to get to a reap. He's probably not going to die between your turns, even if it does take some time. As a rare, he's not winning a game. I don't think he's even making your opponent make any like game-changing
tough choices,
decisions. Like, I don't know. It's a fun-looking card. Again, the art looks cool. It's just an average card though. It's not winning a game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
It should live though.
Should. So he reaps.
Oh, it sure protects a pile of amber.
Mm-hmm.
Possible. I mean, it's only 6.
Well, but it's elusive.
At least they fixed so this guy doesn't do like Archimedes thing on a board wipe.
Sure.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Patronage. Before we get into some Archimedes shenanigans, patronage. Play. Move half the ember from a creature to your pool, rounding up. Move the remaining ember from that creature to your opponent's pool.
When is this good besides on a 1 amber creature? I mean, like, when do you want to give them half the amber on a creature?
I mean, it's still pretty good if the pile of amber is on one of your creatures.
Yeah, it's like
supposed to be theirs, right?
So,
especially if you're gonna like we talked about the city state running out of amber all the time. Like if you're gonna follow this with city state and capture it all back anyway, this could be real good.
Yeah.
Still nowhere as good as Tribute's gonna be. But like if I have 8 amber sitting on one of my dudes, I get 4, you get 4, and I'm about to capture it all again anyway. Like that's a pretty good turn.
Well, even if I get 4 and you get 4 and now you don't get 8. Yeah, so right. So you're going to use it to do it to your own guy, and it doesn't kill him.
See,
yeah.
I guess I'm looking at this. This would be a perfect target for your Shrix. I can't pull you off key normally. You're about to forge with Shrix. Now
they're Senator Shrix, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like their if you're facing Worlds Collide, you could target their Primus.
Correct.
Or their scuttumed creature,
or their Stenopius.
Wherever all your amber is next to their Ludo.
How many
doesn't
times
care about Ludo?
How many times have we seen that Stenopius that's 67 power or something stupid like that? Well, I'll tell you what, you can have half. I'll take the other half,
and then I'm going to kill your 3/2 creature.
Okay, so this card is really filling in the place of what Tribute kind of was, probably.
Yeah, I think it's good in the set that it's in. I think it would have actually been better in Worlds Collide because it would have been the exact card you want to face other Worlds Collide.
Power-wise, I feel like this could have been the common and Tribute could have been the rare.
Yeah.
This card has upside, but it's not as much upside as the shenanigans that happened with Tribute. This, even if I captured all your amber and then this was my answer and I had to give half of it back, like then it's kind of it's not nearly as good as Tribute is. Tribute Sync Semper or Tribute.
Oh yeah, no Sync Semper.
Right. That's what I meant. This is replacing what Sync Semper does. That's the card my brain is trying to say.
Moving along a little bit, Surya Boot that is going to be reprinted. So is Senator Brachus and Salt. So a lot of rares and Tertiate, but a lot of rares being reprinted for Saurians, which is kind of surprising. Skyla, 7 power beast. Each enemy creature gains reap, deal 4 damage to this creature.
All right, that's pretty dang obnoxious. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's a 7 power creature that you have to deal with. Like this can't stay in the game.
I
like both of the beast creatures. We'll see the next one, but yes, they both.
Wait a minute. What am I missing here?
Enemy creatures reap and then die.
Yeah. It's one-sided. It's only your opponent.
Oh, yeah, I'm reading it as enemy creatures deal 4 damage to Skyla. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a one-sided, you're effed until you kill my 7 power Triceratops.
I get it now. Okay, I'm like, doesn't he just have to reap twice and Skyla dies? I'm missing something.
No, he can reap all day. He's fine.
All right, fair enough.
That's an interesting thing to actually start entering the game, because as we talked about, the things that you have to remove from the game, other than some of the Worlds Collide Saurians, or you lose, are typically small. Like, this is not small. And I mean, if this is played in the first 3 turns of the game, you have to deal with it, or you're going to be way behind the Amber curve. It's going to kill all your creatures.
I mean, this guy with our Nero Taurus down, which is double rare, but now I'm making it so you can't fight, and if you reap, you're killing your own guys. Oh,
Now, are these
that's,
two
that's
linked
some
to
goofy control.
Are these two? We're gonna go through Charybdis. I think I said that wrong. He's again a 7-power beast creature. Each enemy creature gains before fight lose 1 ember. Are these two linked to each other?
He's
I'm guessing
special
so.
rarity. It looks like it.
I think they are. It looks like it.
I mean, that would be my assumption.
They are.
Skilla does
They
not
both have the
special
same
rarity.
tail in the background of the picture.
Yeah, I mean the pictures definitely like match. Like they're definitely. Like,
Oh yeah,
one
if
large
you put the
panoramic art.
cards
You can
side
see
by side,
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
the boat.
This is probably a play mat or something.
Oh,
at some point.
100%. This is a
Yeah.
playmat.
these guys seem really good.
Yeah.
They both have very good effects.
JR, you
Yeah,
said
no,
you really, really like this guy. What's up?
No, I like the first one better with Skilla. What's interesting is Skilla is showing the rare symbol, but not showing the linked rarity. But you can see here for Charybdis, I don't know. I'll go with that.
I didn't
is
study my
showing the
Greek
linked
before I
rarity.
came in today.
Well, that's the way Time Traveler and Help from Future Self was.
Yeah, I was
Time
gonna say.
Traveler was the star, and then Help was the
Help
symbol.
was the special rarity.
So it would fall. I don't know. I like both of the abilities. I think that the first card was better than this one here. But before
Really? I don't know. This is some
It's-
sort of real amber control. I mean,
They're both good.
I think the first one's way better. So if I had to pick one, I definitely want that one. But if
Yep.
they come together, I'm not sad
Yeah.
about that.
Nope.
Yeah, like that's
and they're both 7 power.
yeah.
They're both-
Like in most cases, that means something is fighting twice, and they're dealing the full 7 damage. So more than likely, they're killing the 2 things that are attacking them. If that's how they're being dealt with. If they have like the on target kill, like well, at least they spent a very good resource on this. Yeah, they affect the game. They affect the game state and your win con for sure.
Yep, pretty good. All right, let's
still actually
jam through the
think
rest
I
of these
like
monuments.
Nero Taurus better, but I think they're both great.
So now we're going to be going through all the fun monuments, and that's about it, guys. So we're starting out, we have Monument to Faust. Action. It is all these are artifacts. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right away. Action. Keys cost +1 during your opponent's next turn. If Faust the Great is in your discard pile, keys cost +2 during your opponent's next turn.
So it's a really bad lash. Okay, that's not good, people.
And we were looking last week. We talked about the card that was Lash and
Oh yeah, it does 2 things.
Library combined,
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this card again. This is bad.
Yeah, like yeah, it's real bad. Like it's real bad. Like I don't know what's next.
It really, I mean, yeah, it's not as good as Lash. But is
Yeah,
Lash
and
in
Lash
set?
Lash is good, but like for the stuff that affects key costs now,
but is Lash in
Lash
set?
is not like the greatest anymore.
Yeah, I know, but is it in set? It's not even in the set, is it?
You know what could have made these okay is if they had their crappy actions, but then their ability is if their linked guy was in the trash, that they became omnis or something, so you could get more use out of them.
That would
Oh,
be cool.
that would be cool. I mean,
The way they are now, they're trashy.
you'll obviously see the trend as we go through. For Octavia, a friendly creature captures 1.
I like Octavia.
Yeah, if Corsair Octavia is in the discard pile, the creature captures 2 instead.
Okay, but we had this card
Yeah, we
in
did.
the last set, and it
Yeah, it
was
was
just
City Gates.
better. And it was just better.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if this is better or worse than City Gates. They're almost the same. I do like the fact that you can capture 2 on not a dinosaur.
Sure, but you got to have your 1 Octavia in the discard. So
Yeah, it's still though. Like I think they're closer to comparative value than what I feel you think. So
sure, but either way, yeah. I don't know. I guess City Gates is a very good card.
I
this
think
one, yeah, this is probably fine.
I think in some scenarios it's going to be better, some it's going to be worse. But I think
it's funny how
the City Gates.
I think City Gates is a good card, but I don't think of Skeleton Key as a good card. And maybe it's because of the houses they come in, and dinosaurs generally can survive.
Even in this set, you can actually do something with the captured amber. That's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Skeleton Key was just capture on an action, does one thing. There's absolutely nothing that you used to be able to do with that amber. So, what's Primus? Monument to Primus.
Monument to Primus. Move one ember from a friendly creature to another friendly creature. If Consul Primus is in the discard pile, move one ember from a creature to another creature instead.
So it becomes Chant of Hubris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, which is what his ability was. And there is some potential with Primus and this Monument of Primus being in that you can move your amber off your guys at not a huge rate, but enough of a rate to be able to stay in Saurian with their questionable exalting.
I don't think I like this, but I definitely would have to play with this to actually see what it can and cannot do. Yeah, I'll delay my opinion. It might go up from awful to below average at some point. I don't see it being
according to its arc, it's below average
to awful
to really bad. Yeah, anywhere from really bad to below average. So, I mean, it's a chant. I mean, you get to do it anytime you want, but if he's in the discard pile. Nah.
I'm agreeing with Dan now. Like, I think if they had made all of these, if it was in the discard pile Omni, they would all be okay,
much better.
Like worth it. But I'm not seeing any of these that I probably want in my deck.
And we can
maybe Octavia in the correct deck.
And we can go through the last one, Monument to Shrix. You may spend Ember on Monument to Shrix as if it were in your pool. Move one Ember from your pool to Monument to Shrix. If Citizen Shrix is in your discard pile, move one Ember from any player's pool to Monument Shrix instead.
Okay, this one's good.
This is the one we want.
Yeah, this is the only one that I'd want in my deck.
And I'd almost discard Shrix just to get to that second half action.
Yeah.
It was the only one that I had a smile next to.
Yeah. Like this is, I mean, the original Shrix was great. This is the new Shrix is okay, but the monument to the original Shrix, because that's the original picture, is still great. Yeah, this is steal one in a very protected spot. Yeah, this is awesome.
I still think it's slow as an artifact with the artifact damage, but this is the best of the monuments.
There's a lot of power to be able to forge from 5.
Yes.
Because of all the triggers and cards and conditions. Mm-hmm. So, like, just that, this makes this real good.
Well, and the fact that once my Shrix is in the hole and the amber that's going on this card is coming from you,
mm-hmm.
I don't mind this, where not hidey hole, what the
safe place.
Yes, and the pocket universe, I generally despise those cards because it's my amber on there, and then when you artifact destroy it, my amber goes away, so they're just bad cards.
I'm actually a fan of both of those cards, and this is a better version of those cards.
Yeah, well, I like this card, and I don't like those cards.
Doorstep, man. It says doesn't care about it.
Doorstep.
Yeah, and then their Whispering Reliquary just destroys the amber too. I mean, I don't know. I keep playing against artifact destruction decks, and I never put amber on those cards.
Yeah, it definitely does have some things you have to balance.
The remaining cards are all the Sauruses, and again, we're not going to go through those. And then the very last card is Desolus, which I think we decent card, but again, doesn't do enough for me to require 3 cards in my deck. Did we go through that? I didn't even see that one. I wonder which house it's actually in.
It just shows it in Logos right now.
Is it just in Logos? Okay, because it's all the same throughout every house, which would have been nice if they would have, done separate artworks for, the 3 ones that were out there, but I guess that's too much to ask. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on these double cards? Me and Z have talked about them before. I think you and I have talked about them, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them being that 3 cards in a 12-house card set. That's literally a quarter of your house dedicated to this one card that just seems like it's going to get blown up whenever it feels like.
Yeah, but his play effect is... I mean, his play effect is definitely 2 cards in 1 card. No question there. It's really the question of, if you get a deck that has efficiency, that makes it so you can get this together without having to sit with something in your hand and get it out and play it and do its thing, I think they're going to be fairly impactful cards. Maybe not Kong. Haven't decided about Kong.
Nickel Kong?
Funny thing is, if you played Deus and then you play Patronage, you did just steal half the amber rounded up.
Yeah, right. Like, and you didn't destroy this guy, so...
Yeah.
Or even, with the right deck, Deus and Exile him. Could be...
Yeah, especially if they don't have Saurian.
And you have some other, and he's in the middle, and then you eyed your own.
You eyed some.
there is a lot of direct damage for very large creatures, so
yeah,
that is helpful too.
I'm not sure. I want to say, like, I don't foresee, because it is 2 cards and you need 2 cards to play.
I do like this one. I haven't played him, so I don't know if this. I think this could be a game-winning card at certain situations in a sealed game.
Oh, yeah.
Archon, they should definitely be able to answer this.
Well, yeah.
Like, Tribute 6 Semper is better than this.
I don't even know if it's about answering this. Because
this card...
You're putting a lot of effort into getting this card on the field.
It depends on the deck, man. Because you're talking about Logos. Like, if you're talking about an Archon deck, it's probably going to have Logos in it.
Yeah.
It's going to get played. They will play everything at some point in the game unless your opponent beats you in 5 turns.
Sure, I guess. It's double. The 2 card thing is throwing me off, and if history tells us anything, it's just not going to be able to do much.
But Sync Semper Tribute is a 2 card combo.
Right.
And how many times have you been wrecked by that?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, like, 2 card combo, and then this has a search.
But you can play
2 card
those
combo
2 cards
is totally doable.
But you can play those cards at any time you want. You can't just be like, I have the bottom half of Desolus. No, he's clogging your hand.
Well, no, you're discarding him. Okay. I mean, like, it's straight up. You always, if you only have half of it, you discard it. It's the one that gets weird is the search card. Yeah. Right, because once it's in your discard, there's no way to get it back in any meaningful way.
Well, you're gonna...
How about that? You've got your search card with your Reap guy who lets you play an action twice.
Yeah, that is, well, I guess I don't know how they're counting the rarity for Dustless. Is it 2 rares?
2 rares he's just like he's card? A rare with a special.
He's a rare with a special. Yeah, I wasn't sure how they accounted that.
I think the same way a horseman.
I think this
rare could be him, and then if you get selected in the whatever percentage the rare count is, the next card will automatically be his half.
Right,
and he can't be selected in the 12th slot. Hence, he will be more rare than other rares just because he cannot be pulled in slot 12, as far as their algorithm goes.
We're questioning how often you're going to see double rare decks or double creature decks, but it could be a thing, and then they may become very real. I think double Ultrons or the guy out of Logos is going to be where it's at.
Yeah. We'll see, though. But yeah. I think that's a wrap for us, right?
That's going to do it for us this week. We've made it through Saurians. Let's do what we did last week with the quick overall party. What do we want to call that? House rank. Since now we've done Logos, Dis, Saurians, and Untamed. So give me your number 1 through 4, starting with the best, going to the worst. Z, we'll start with you. We didn't get you last week.
So I go through Logos is first for me.
Okay.
Always. And that's part of that is, well, my own bias because I like the house, but I just think it's going to wreck people here. I'm going to go second is currently Dis, then Untamed, and then Saurian.
All right, fair enough. Really?
I could end up switching the Saurian and the Untamed, though. Depending on how some of these played. There's a lot more question marks I've got going on here out of the stuff that we just saw with Saurian.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready to play some games, and I'll let you know once that happens.
JR, what's your ranking, man?
It is identical. It's Logos, Dis, Untamed, Saurian. I'm going to tell you, Untamed and Saurian are much further below what I'm seeing for Logos and Dis.
Yeah.
Logos is a far heads and shoulders above everything else.
So not that Arc is everything, but if
Arc
you
is
look
life,
at the,
man. What are you talking about?
If you look at the graph, the dinosaurs are pretty close to on par with Worlds Collide Brobnar for overall Arc because their comments are so bad.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The houses live or die in the comments, and when we were going through the comments, we're all like, meh, this is okay, this could be good, we don't know. And like that's what happened with Brobnar Worlds Collide. Like when you looked at Worlds Collide, there are some actually really good Brobnar cards. None of them are common though. Like, so
and we got excited for some dinosaur rares. There's some really cool looking dinosaur rares in here, but holy commons are
garbage.
Oh, they're so bad.
Yeah. What's your ranking, JR? Dan, since we're talking to you.
I'm in consensus with everybody else.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I'm glad we all disagreed. Made for some lively chat, but that's okay. We're well over our time, so we're gonna end it here.
It's all right. We're the only people recording podcasts right now, so we got to fill the time.
That's okay. No, there's other people. Other people are doing podcasts still, aren't they? There's
a few, but most people are hiatus right now.
There's not a lot. Since I went on quarantine, I haven't really, no offense to anybody, I haven't been listening to anybody because I don't, I'm at home, most of my day is filled with homework, from 5th grade and 4th grade. So, that's half my day. And then the other half of my day is watching Little Livy since Amanda went back to hers. She's now back at work. So it's Papa Wookie running the joint, and stuff gets crazy sometimes. I feel, you guys ever seen Mrs. Doubtfire? I'm sure you guys have. Everybody's seen Mrs. Doubtfire. Sometimes I feel like that's my house. I'm Robin Williams, and I've got the goat on the counter eating a cake. So, it's just one of those experiences. So it's very new to me being the house dad as opposed to being the one who goes to work. So this is all new to me. So any final thoughts before we get out of here? Just going to kind of give that as a broad. Anybody who's got anything, just go ahead now. Let's get it out.
I'm excited for the relaunch of this. I'd like to get some, ship product, cloths here locally, and play some KeyForge that way. I know some folks are still getting it imported, but I am very excited for when it does actually come out.
Yeah, I am too.
I saw some rumoring that Alliance and Asmodee are going to split ways here before Mass Mutation's release. So if you were ordering through your store who thinks they're getting it through Alliance, you may want to
make sure.
You may want to look into that because it may become a Fantasy Flight Direct only option in the near future.
Because the Asmodee Partner Program is back in action. I'll tell you that right now. So right now, well, I'll tell you guys off air. That's not a big deal. JR, you got anything before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you all next week. Oh, don't forget to join our dailies. JR, you forgot to plug the dailies.
Our dailies are fun, though. They're a blast. Even though I have not won as much as I would like, but that's part of the fun. Bringing out some random decks. So bring out some random decks. Come talk with us, and let's play some more KeyForge. Hopefully we'll be returning back with some Mass Mutations to be forging keys in real life.
Absolutely. So, guys, we'll see you all next week.